let's talk about consent, how important consent is.
Yes.
I'll give you an example on therapy aspect or a therapeutic relationship.
Yes.
So before we have sessions,
like a session, yes,
there's something we call informed consent.
Yes.
And with this informed consent, I just want to walk you through the whole
journey
document
yes
of the informed consent. So with the informed consent one, the therapist, the first page, the therapist introduces themselves.
Yes.
They introduce the services that they're doing and the services that they don't offer.
Okay.
Cases they might handle, cases they
may
might not handle. I'll give you an example with my informed consent.
Yes.
I will introduce myself, say these are the cases that I handle. I'm specialized in XYZ,
Yes.
and these are the cases I might not handle. I'll give an example. In mine, the last paragraph states, in case of suicidal ideations,
Yes.
then I won't handle the session. I will refer you to someone
else. Okay.
The reason I do this is when I'll be digressing kidogo, but
It's okay.
walk with me.
The end justifies the means.
Yes.
As long as we bora tufike.
Yes. So the reason I started to do that is when it comes to suicidal ideations, there are two types of suicidal ideations. I mean, there's the active suicidal ideation and there's a passive suicidal ideation.
Okay.
So let me explain the passive. The passive suicidal ideation, me personally, Usema, almost everyone in this population in this world has gone through it, whereby life has gotten so hard or so rough.
Yes.
For a split second,
yes,
unafikiria it would be better off if I'm not around.
If I wasn't here,
yes,
like
this would
be a better situation.
Yes. But then again, you don't fix it on it. You don't think of ways to do it. You don't think of this and that. The minute that situation imeisha, the thoughts are gone.
On.
You don't even go back there.
Yes.
So for such a situation, I help my clients understand for such a situation, I can handle. We can do the sessions.
Okay.
Even virtual sessions and everything, as long as it's passive.
Yes.
And even if you tell, when I'm doing the whole sessions of taking notes and everything, the consultation session and everything, and you tell me you've had suicidal ideations, even if they're passive, I will do a risk assessment.
Okay.
Just to make sure
that it is actually yes.
Passive, and then now we get to the active. Active suicidal ideation is whereby you've thought of ways to do it, you've fixated on it, you've started, your lifestyle has changed around it. You idolize people that are already dead and everything. And we also have people we call the risk category, whereby these are people, men. These are people that have tried to die by suicide before and all that. So in that situation, I help my client understand why I can't have sessions with them. One is because in such a situation, either you need hospitalization, whereby you can be put in the whole 72-hour suicide watch.
Yes.
Virtual sessions would not help.
Okay.
So we've moved from the first page. So my client already knows this is a situation, this is the cases this therapist might handle or might not handle. We now get to the other page. The other page is where now we talk about confidentiality and when confidentiality can be broken. For mine, it has around 8 reasons as to why confidentiality can be broken.
Okay.
And I walk my client through it all. I explain it to them like a child, like I would explain to a child.
In simple terms.
So that they can know,
understand
in case of XYZ, she will break confidentiality.
Okay.
And also, there are two other pointers in that aspect of confidentiality that states, I might break this confidentiality, but I won't break it without informing you first.
Okay.
And then there's one that I don't need to inform you.
You don't need to inform me, yes.
Right? So I help my client understand why this is it.
This is necessary.
And I need a verbal understanding that you understand where we are.
Yes.
So we can't move to the next point without you signing it. And so we sign every page.
Yes.
Now we get to the third page. Mine has, I think, 3 pages.
Yes.
4, other than you sign and everything. The third one is the rights of the client. The client needs to understand their rights. As much as their rights. I came to realize when it comes to these relationships or partnerships, I normally call them relationships or partnership because it's a long-term thing. Most people don't know their rights.
Okay.
You don't know your right as a client, you don't know your right as a patient. So I help my client understand their rights.
Okay.
Mine, I think, are about 4 or 5. I make sure they understand what their rights are, and I give them that leeway to ask questions. I even tell them, before you sign this, go home with it. Sleep on it. Before you decide, I want to get into.
If you need maybe a third party to help you.
A third party, whatever, just someone that can explain it to you. But I even explain mine even in vernacular, just to make sure my clients are really understanding what they get.
Your mother did well
she did. Even if I interchange someone, bruh.
It's fine.
I can borrow water. Yes. Okay. So you see how important consent
is. Yes.
And that is on a professional context.